Hi guys, this is Pestily and welcome to another Escape from Tarkov video. Today I'm covering the new player's guide to customs. I'm going to cover the high loot areas, the danger areas, the spawns, the extracts, and everything else you need to know in between. So without further ado, let's crack straight into it. Alright guys, and welcome to customs. Now this is the trailer park spawn. If you want to follow along with me in offline mode, load up like a map on Map Genie or one of the other websites, the Wikipedia page, and then get yourself over to this spawn if you can, and follow me around the map. Now, the map of customs has usually around maximum 13 people that can spawn on there. There is a scav boss named Rashala, and I'll show you his spawns as well. And then also the goons can spawn on there. So the goons rotate between random maps, and it's worth noting that the goons can spawn on this map. Now, this map is one of the maps that most people, including myself, in the past have usually said it's one of the maps you should learn first. The reason for that is a lot of the early tasks force you to go to custom for this map. However, you don't really need to do them anymore to get to level 15. You can actually completely avoid customs, wait till you get to the flea market, unlock the keys, buy the keys, and then go into customs. So, just take note of that. But it is a very simple map to learn because of how narrow it is. I'll have a map on the screen right now showing you, but it is a very narrow map. You kind of can't go very far to the left or the right, and you kind of get forced to go down this tunnel. There's kind of 3 paths to go down, one being going past dorms, one going down the main road / through construction, and then the other going past the Stronghold. If you go through one of each of these locations, you're going to run into combat, and there's ways to avoid it, and I'll try my best to show you that. Now, starting from here. So this is Trailer Park. I spawned on the outside of the map. But if you were to run over here, this is one of the extracts, but it is also a very common spawn. You can also spawn down the far other end of this area. And we're going to move through. Now, for the trailer park section of the map, I'm not going to show you all the rooms. But, for example, inside the back of that car right there, there is a med bag. It's kind of nice to know where some of the med spawns are early on in your playthroughs. But med bag in there, there's duffel in there. Through the center line, there's another jacket and some duffel bags, and then down the far other end, there's a couple of jackets over there. This is called Big Red, coming up. So, you'll have a quest that goes into that shack, and I have been camped there once. It's not very common. But this is Big Red. Now, this area is very, very common to get into a lot of fights throughout the whole raid. So, what ends up happening is people coming from the other side of the map will come through, and then they'll fight you in Big Red if you take too long to get through it. There's a few quests that require you to get in there. Now, these 2 shacks on each side, this one has actually quite a fair bit of stuff in there. The filing cabinet, there's jackets over here, duffel bag, weapon case. Now, I want to make a point here that I would try to avoid hanging out in this area too long because people will just camp you across on the bridge area, and the sooner you can get into the middle of the map, the better. If you're going to be doing a lot of looting on this map, try and loot closer to the extract. Otherwise, you're just looting up for people to kill you and take your loot. So there's nothing wrong with checking jackets. Always check jackets for keys, and same with filing cabinets. But just don't like try and loot every duffel bag and every scav and all that kind of stuff. It is better to try and prolong it a little bit. Otherwise, you're literally just looting for people to take your loot off you, because you will die a lot on this map. This is Big Red. There are some weapon cases. There's usually one on this right here, and then there's some up the back. When you come up the top here, so this is obviously the director's key. But your people can be shooting at you through these windows. So if you get caught up here, just be very careful of that. This door is just a normal open door, but this one is a breach door. And there is a safe and a jacket, and there's an intel spawn in the bin. If you are standing here looting the jacket, you can get sniped from people across the water. So just be careful of that. If you're going to loot the jacket, I would normally press F and look down. It'll save you your head at least. But yeah. Inside this room, 3 computers, a couple of duffel bags can spawn. My suggestion for this map is you run a docs case, generally, until you have a complete docs case of all the keys. Once you do get to the point where you can have a SIG case, I actually highly suggest coming in here with a SIG case looking similar to this. You can add an extra couple of keys if you want, and then a docs case on top. And the reason for that is there's so many safes on this map that you'll actually, and filing cabinets, that you'll actually fill a docs case every raid if you were trying to loot just by the filing cabinets and safes. We're talking Bitcoins, GP coins, all your diaries, your SSDs and that all go inside the safe. Sorry, all go inside the docs case, and you can completely fill it. Intels can spawn in filing cabinets and safes. All right, so inside that one, there's a med bag and a filing cabinet. I'd very highly suggest avoiding that shack and that one, but I'm telling you it's there. Now, one of the other early tasks that you're going to get on this map is setup. It's hopefully going to get its kills reduced. I've been begging BSG to do it because it's kind of silly at the moment. It's 15 kills with shotguns. So you'll have a lot of people running around with shotguns. It might change over the following wipes. I don't update these map guides super early. But yeah, it's very important to note that there's going to be a lot of people running around with shotguns. So range can be your friend unless they're using slugs. And then it doesn't make any difference. Now, the ways to cross this bridge. There is the junk bridge over here. This is the junk bridge. I never use that. If you're standing up on this side of the bridge and you hear someone running on the junk bridge, they are completely dead. There is no chance they have us fighting. I'd say you'd win 1 in 10, maybe 1 in 20 fights fighting back up to the bridge if anyone was half decent. The choice is to cross over. If you're early in the raid, you can sprint across here, but it's still not too bad because even if someone is on the bridge, it's a long shot for them, so they have to spray you down and get lucky. I think this one's actually pretty solid because even if they do see you, you can kind of go up and down on the backside of here and actually get a little bit of protection, or just cross the bridge. I generally prefer to just cross the bridge because you've got the high ground advantage. But for example, if I'm all the way over there, I do actually cross on that side quite often. I have no problem with that. Now that we're at the center of the map. So, center of the, this side. This is called Ice Cream Hut. It's a shack that sells ice cream. You'll find a lot of scavs down here. One of the things I didn't point out, actually, sorry, is Crossroads Extract is at the very end of this road. You go all the way down to the far end of that. It's the opposite to the trailer park on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, that is Crossroads, and that's one of the extracts over there. I do apologize. I'll have an image of it so you can understand. Now, this is Smugglers' boat. It's not up right now. It spawns right there. You'll have a little campfire, and there'll be smoke coming up. That spawn, if you spawn on the boiler side of the map and you're coming over this side, that will be one of your options when you double tap O, and it'll say Smugglers' boat, which is what I actually have it because I spawn on the other side of the map. But yeah, that spawns right there. It's not a guaranteed extract. If you spawn on the boiler side, this is the extract you will be going for. Majority of the time. It's called RUAF, and there's a lot of scavs that spawn over here. Some things to note, it can be quite overwhelming, and if you are getting overwhelmed by all the scavs, it can be better just to skip it and go to check Smugglers, or go to Crossroads and Trailer Park. The actual extract itself is behind this. I don't actually know the name of the truck. It's not a VAB. But yeah, the extract's right here. I'm sure someone in chat or in the comments will know. Now, things to note, right in this spot here is an armor repair kit spawn. It's worth checking because they can sell for 1,000,000 rubles late wipe. Alright. I'm going to try and sweep a little bit so you can understand. Now, if you are hearing gunshots in this section, please do not go through here. It is, like, think of it like this. You are coming from one direction. You're very loud coming through here. And if someone's camping in that tree, behind here, over there, anywhere along here, even inside Crackhouse, they have such an easy time shooting you coming through this spot. If I'm trying to get my shotgun kills, quite often, I'll literally just lay down. I think it's here. I'll literally just lay down here. And just wait for people to come through. It is so easy to kill people coming through that section. So please, just don't. Save yourself the hassle. If you're hearing gunshots in this section, go through construction, go down the main road, or go towards dorms. Just hit it from a different angle. Because if you go into this area, you're going to get clapped up. Unless you know that they're not covering it by the fact that they're still in combat or something. Alright, Crackhouse. So, this place has a lot of meds. A lot of people will be like, this is where I get all my meds for my 3 Saluas, early rate, or early wipe. Trust me, this is not a good place to go. Anyone with half decent skills is going to come in here fully geared and try and stomp you all the time. The meds spawn on these shells, like here, the IFAC. Down here has 2 filing cabinets. But it also has intel spawns that can be on the floor and on the shelves. So you're looking on these shelves and on the floor. They're pretty common in offline raids. I've said this pretty much every time I've done one of these videos. Offline raid has worst loot for some reason. Like the loot multiplier has been turned down. But yeah, so med spawns up the top. Coming downstairs, you've got... there's a body you can loot here if you crouch down. Okay, normally you can loot this body. Online, you can loot that body. The jacket, there's usually a duffel bag in there. There's another body in here you can loot. Duffel bag and jacket. Med spawns on these tables. I think there's loot in here as well. Jackets, I think. Yeah. So, it's actually a pretty popular place to loot. But it is kind of crazy how much combat comes out of this building. I think the intel spawns draw people later in the wipe. And then early in the wipe, it's the med spawns that make people want to go there. I just realized that my camera is scuffed. And I do apologize. We are better. Must have bumped it. Alright. So this is Stronghold. So this is where Rashala was spawned. The scab boss for customs. Previously, he would only spawn in dorms. They changed it. He did originally spawn in this area. After the expansion of this area happened. But then they moved it away. So it was only dorms and new gas. Then it was only dorms. Now he's back here. So check the wiki for the exact spawn locations. But generally, he'll be spawning here. And the goons spawn in this location too. It's actually a very good loot area. So we've got medical crates down here, med spawns. I'm not going to go through everything, like each container and what they do. But you've got gold spawns that can spawn down here. You can get like a lion and stuff just around this section. Food and drink in this room, some weapon crates. Head upstairs. And you've got like half a dozen crates. So you've got 1, 2... There's a med bag on the outside of there. And there's another crate that spawns there. They're not spawning because they're in offline mode, but... Trust, there's about 6 of these crates. 6 or 7 of these crates. And it won't even let me loot it in offline mode. And it's worth looting. If you can get in here without dying, it's worth looting. Now, if you have a factory key... You can open this door. And this is one of the extracts. You do need to flick the power lever, and I'll show you where that is later. But you come down here... And this is ZB013. And that is one of the extracts. So, I'll turn the power on later to show you that. But that's Stronghold. Now, be careful. Old gas stations over this side. If you are here early, people will come from the old gas side because they'll spawn on the boiler side, go through old gas and come to Stronghold. If you're here early, they'll be all coming from Crackhouse and the unknown key side. Alright, let's head back over to construction. I'm going to head back through this way so I can give you a better understanding of it. Now, if you are playing at night time, it is worthy to note that the cultists do spawn over here. They actually spawn in this section over here, and at the start of the raid, they run over to this side. So if you get this spawn, and you'll like spawn over in this spot right here, you can actually go prone and you actually see them run in. I've had it happen before. So all the cultists will run into this section. So they're usually one standing there, one over there, and they'll be standing up against the wall here and on the other side of this. They spawn between 10 PM and I think 6 AM. Something around that. So just be careful. They are very dangerous, but they have extremely good loot. So this is construction. There is like a weapon repair kit that spawns on top of construction. If it's up there, go for it, grab it. But what I always laugh when I see is if players are like standing up here. You are being seen from people on Skeleton, over on the hillside, all the way through Ice Cream, down towards RUAF, across the bridge. You are so vulnerable up here. Guys, there's no reason why you should come up here. Even if you're trying to bait someone, it's rough. At best, sometimes it's not too bad to stand here if you know there's people fighting just on this section over here. You can come up and just make sure you keep moving, but don't just stand up here. Construction is one of the very high traffic movement areas because people heading towards RUAF on their extract. and also, you know, coming through the raid. One of the early keys requires you to, or early tasks requires you to open this fuel tanker up and loot it. So there's a lot of action that happens here. So just be careful of that. If you want my advice, the fastest and safest way to get through this area, if you want to avoid players, strangely enough, is you come up through this section and you run down the side of the road. You can either run on this side or you can run on that side. I prefer this side. Being close to this wall, they can't shoot you from within construction, and usually they go on the other side of this hill down towards dorms. So just take note. This is generally, if I'm trying to get out of the map fast, this is generally the fastest and safest way, because if you hear someone in construction, it gives you options. Instead of running through construction and then being stuck behind this wall and not being able to go anywhere but back, and then they can try and chase you down. Now, in the middle of the map, this is skeleton over this side. So for this section, it is a lot of people will be up here sniping. You can actually see into Stronghold, and there are there are like a crate there to loot, and there is some spawns on the ground and all that. But generally, it's just a really good spot for people to try and get their shooterborn heaven kills done. This is bus depot. There's no actual loot in there. Something I should point out: there's a lot of hidden stashes in this map. They're mostly on this half of the map that I'm facing right now. But for example, hopefully there'll be one here to show you. There's one that spawns right there. I do have a guide that shows you all the spawns, but there has been like an extra 15 added. So I'm probably going to have to update that guide now. This wipe had a lot of things that needed updating, so that's why we started doing all the new guides. As for sniper scavs, if you get a quest where you have to kill sniper scavs, or you're just wondering where you're getting shot from, sniper scavs can spawn on the big, I don't know, brown building over this side, up the top, and then there's a few spawns on the other end of the map. So if you like, where am I getting shot from? Check on top of this silo, and that's where you'll find them. Now, Dawns is one of the most trickiest, dangerous places to fight. It's only gotten so difficult of late because of the audio. They've made it really difficult to hear audio. One thing I just want to point out in here, if you're short of cash for the car, this usually has 2 stacks of cash in there, 1 to 2. So if you are, say, 1,000 rubles short or a couple thousand rubles short, it's actually not a bad place to go. So there's 3-story dorms in front of me, and that's 2-story dorms on there. There's a lot of quests that's going to bring you in here. Like a lot, like 5, 6, 7, probably 7 or 8 quests, maybe even more. So, actually, no, it's heaps more than that. There's 203, 303, the 114, Marked Room, Kills in Dorms, Rashala, Chumming. What else am I missing? Chemistry has a quest that brings you in here. So that's 8, just off the top of my head right there. I do have where all the good loot is, but I'll try and do a speed run of it. Pretty much jackets in this room, jackets in this room, jackets in this room. Filing cabinets in this one. I believe 108, it's a locked room, but there's filing cabinets in there. 118, this one has jackets in there. Filing cabinet in here. That's ground floor. There's no quest keys needed for the ground floor. But yeah, this is what I'm talking about, having the docs case and the SIG case with the docs case empty. The jackets will get you a heap of keys, and particularly early wipe, keys will make you a lot of money. All right, jackets in this room. All right, quest room, this one. This is got a safe in there. I'm just going to show you it because this is definitely worth knowing about. So safe in there. Jackets in this one, and also the machinery key for an early quest. There's some weapon crates down this side. This is 214. This has got a safe in there. If you're inside, I would always recommend keeping this door closed, because even if this is where the car extract is, it's always worth having this door closed because, surprise, surprise, in Tarkov, the audio doesn't really work that well. You can have someone sprint all the way in. If you're looting this safe, you will only hear the last footstep of this spot right here before they run in. Unless they've fixed it, which hopefully they have. But you can have literally someone run right up, and then they'll come in here and they'll see you right looting the safe, and you only hear the last footstep of them coming up. So always keep this door shut when you're looting and doing stuff in here. So 220 has jackets, and it's also a quest key. Jackets on the floor. That's the main ones there. For the top floor, jackets in this cupboard here. Quest key, so 303. Coming down the far end, you'll have to place some gold chains down there for chumming. More jackets in this room. There's 2 jackets there, and then the marked room. So this is one of the high loot areas of the game. So, you know, got a spear. And yeah, so marked rooms have like really good loot in there. You got an egg, or I like to call them a Dan. You can find, you know, docs cases, not sick cases, key tools, dog tag cases, injector cases, all that kind of thing. So that is why Dorms is so good for loot and fighting, because there's so many quests in here, and also a lot of really good loot. That's 3-story Dorms. I won't tell you how to fight in it, because you really got to learn it yourself. There are some tricks and that I can teach you, but that's probably not enough time here for that. I'll come down to this end. There are some trick jumps you can do as well, about jumping in between windows and that. All right, on the left hand side is 104. There is a safe in, sorry, 105. There is a safe in there. And you can also get some good spawns on the ground. Left hand side is 104. 2 jackets and a tool box in here. I've looted these rooms, I would say, thousands of times, without exaggeration. Now, as we go down this way, so weapon case, 2 jackets, and sometimes there's like 3 duffel bags in here. This one has a dead body to loot, and watch out for people jumping in this window. All right, 110 has a safe in there. 114 has a safe, a med box, and a computer. It is also needed for a quest. So just be note of that. There's a quest item that spawns on top of that. For upstairs, you have 2 filing cabinets in here, 2 jackets in here, a filing cabinet here, run down, 2 jackets, 2 jackets, and then there's some weapon crates and stuff down the other end. I think I missed one. It's in this one. So there's normally a weapon crate right there, and there's another one here. So I might have gone 1 room too far. But yeah, 2 weapon crates there, and then there's another one in here. The spawns there. So as you can see, Dorms. Oh, and 206. Sorry, quest key. So this is for Operation Aquarius. So just be wary of that one. But that is Dorms. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff going on there. There's a lot of loot. Like I said, empty docs case, you will fill it every single raid. If you were to loot the entirety of Dorms, you would fill it with keys, and then all those other things I was talking about, like SSDs and Intel, GP coins. If you've got a sick case, you can put skull rings in there. So yeah, that's pretty much Dorms. It's crazy. All right, moving over to this side of the map. Now we've got up to New Gas Station. So for New Gas... Oh, and Rashala can spawn at Dorms too. Sorry. Rashala can spawn at Dorms too. Now we're at New Gas. So, for New Gas, there is the opportunity for Rashala to spawn. And there's a couple of rooms. Other things of note, the Emicom key can spawn on that seat right there, which is a key for interchange to get into the med room. It's needed for the vitamins part 1 task. This is a locked room that has a safe in there. So there's your safe. There used to be a key spawn on the ground and on the top of the desk, but not anymore. Or I haven't seen them at least. 2 med bags in here. You need to also hand it in the same key for Trust Regain, and it's worth heaps of money. There's a key spawn right there as well for labs, but it's not worth anything. If you come into this raid and you spawn on boiler side and you're heading to Dorms and you forget your cash to go to take the car extract, I would recommend it takes like loot the safe in that room just next to us in the office, and then if you still don't have enough cash, just quickly touch up on these cash registers. If you've got a docs case, you'll put it in the docs case, and then easily you've got your money for the car. So if you do forget that, it's worthy of note. There are some spawns on top of here. Sometimes you'll get like there's a med spawn, and I usually see a morphine that spawns there. This is also a very high threat area. So inside here, it's the Goshen key. It used to be worth heaps because it used to have to be found in raid, but it doesn't anymore. So that's thankful. There is a barter trade if you get to level 40 for that quest. I'm going to be a little bit lazy. All right. There are some spawns on top of this hill. I'm just going to be... I don't want this video blowing out too much. But on top of this hill, there is a shack. You can see the corner of the shack there. Inside there is a med bag. There are some weapon crates around there. There's one in the back of the truck. And then between some of the concrete and all that. I'll put some images up to show you some of the spawns. Or some videos. But instead of me just running over there to run back. As you come down the hill, there's some hidden stashes. And then in the back corner, there's a hidden stash as well. And some of the scav extracts, when you scav into this map, are on this back wall. As we come down this way, this is checkpoint. There's a little shack here that has some ammo spawns in there. There is a sniper scav that spawns up here. Also on top of this hill. And lastly, on top of this building. So for sniper scavs, just be wary of them. This one is definitely lootable though, which is handy. Now the 114 key for 2-story dorm spawns in this jacket. It's rare, but when you do get it, it's kind of handy because you need it for a quest and it can be quite expensive on the flea market. This is the checkpoint key. There's usually a few like ammo crates and stuff in there. So you can see the ammo crates there, and you can sometimes get weapons in the weapon rack. There's not really a lot of loot in this back section besides some hidden stashes and some duffel bags. I don't actually know the name of this building. GPU, I think they call it. Or green screen building, I can't remember. So up here. Be very careful coming in this room because there's only the one entry and exit. And if someone hears you up here, they can trap you. They can just all come down here if you've got a squad on you. And they can trap you. So, tech spawns. Inside, there's jackets. And then there's also a heap of toolboxes in this room and a med bag that spawns right there. For the other side, you can get a lot of... Oh, and you can also get some loose spawns on these shelves at the back. Also definitely worth checking for weapon, rare weapon parts too. Like a B33 there. Early white, but B33 will sell for like 70 or 80,000 rubles. This is the USEC key. I can't remember the exact name of it. It's kind of pointless because you can vault through the window if you know how to do it. For this, we've got the 2 jackets. And then we've got also some spawns inside here. Mostly weapon parts and barter trade items and that. A roller can spawn on him. And then you can also get like chains and like gold chains and chainlets on the ground. So just be wary or take note of that. And you can come down the staircase and head out the back. Pull the back building over here. This one is filled with barter trades. There's one barter trade box or technical supply crate. Up the top, you've got a couple of computers, jackets. There's some grenade boxes in here on the left. The grenade box. Just be checking for loot on the ground and on the boxes here. There's the technical supply crate up the stairs. There's 2 jackets, computers, and it's worthy of noting. And then that is one of the extracts, ZB. Oh my god, the brain's not working. This is ZB011. Right there. This building used to be a really huge building. It used to be one of the biggest buildings. So there's the body there and toolbox there. I'm talking back in like 2018 now. So this was the main and only spawn for a factory key. Was right there. Just a bit of history for Tarkov. There is a weapon crate just on that platform there. There can be one at the top on the other side as well. So if you spawn on the trailer park side or the Crossroads side, you'll be using... That's a guaranteed extract. And then these ones here are only a chance to extract. So if that light is on there, you can extract. I lost a lot of time because I was running across the map at the start. So that light's on, so you would be able to take that extract. This building is used for chemical part 4. There's some loose spawns. There's a van. I'll have images pop up. Actually, no, I should be able to get there in time. We've got 6 minutes. We've got heaps of time. There's a van here that can have med spawns on the ground and inside it. There's a couple of weapon crates that can spawn around this side, and then there's also the jacket there. So, something to take note of. This area that I'm in right now can have a lot of scavs in it. It's like, I don't know why, but at the point of patch point 14, this area right here is probably the highest spawn rate of scavs. For this building, things of note is there's a couple of weapon crates back on the back side of there. This shelf can spawn any item in the game. So you can get a docs case, sick case, key tool. You should check this shelf every time you go past it. Because you don't know what could be on there. And there's also a jacket that spawns there. It's like the giving tree. And then there's weapon crates along here. As we come out on this side, this is the power lever for the extract. ZB013. So, we've turned the power on now so we can take the extract. Oh, actually, I should show you the spawns down here. So there aren't a lot of spawns on this level. There is a jacket in there. But if you come down the bottom here, there's a weapon crate there and there. So you can get some gold chains in that behind it. And there's some med spawns down here. That's of note. So even on that body. So if you're running low on meds or you're looking for saloons and stuff like that, it's, you know, something you can get on the way past. Alright, up here to old gas. Usually have a lot of scavs here, particularly this late in the raid. So if the smoke is on there, you can take the old gas extract if you spawn on the Crossroads side. And that's ZB... That's just old gas. So the tree out the back is called the giving tree, but also this this table here and underneath the table also can spawn any item in the game. So you can get like any from a lab key card to a key tool to a docs case. So it's always worth checking it just for the chance. I've never had a labs card spawn, but I've seen plenty of videos of it happening for other people. And this is the giving tree spawn right here. So see this M870x7. So there's 2 spawns on the ground here. There's a med bag there and a hidden stash in the corner. Now, do not run down this way. See how there's that? Once you get past that sign, pretty much, you will guide to a sniper scav. You'll hear it every now and then. You'll go see a body and it'll be like some lobby and you're like, oh, poor boy. You butchered my boy. And this is where I was talking about from old gas people coming across the Stronghold. And how to watch out for that. So, I think we did that nice and tidy. I don't think we really missed anything too crazy. So, we already opened that with our factory key. And then we can extract through ZB013. Now, if you are trying to remember what keys you need, I'll have a link down below to the priority keys. I actually have a whole video on priority keys for all the maps. And we're going to try and update that every wipe if it does change. But it usually stays pretty accurate for most, like for a few wipes. So if you haven't checked out that, there's a video for it and also an image. So that's there to help you. I am putting out these new player guides for all the new maps, for all the maps, and updating it to the most recent wipe because they are a little bit dated. So by the time this one comes out, you should have like ground zero, streets, factory, and this will be customs. I'm working on woods and all that. We're going to try and get them out nice and quick so then I can start moving into more interesting guides like where all the really sweet loot is and how to get rich and how to stop being crap the game. If you haven't checked out my raid series, I haven't got this wipes one up yet, but that's also a very good starting point if you're new to Tarkov. And if you've gotten to this point, please subscribe. Help us get to the 1 million subs. It takes a lot of time to edit and make these videos, and we do appreciate the generosity and support from you guys, but subscribing is the best way to support us and helps us. Appreciate it very much. Like and comment for the YouTube algorithm. Check out the new player playlist and the priority keys guide. And lastly, I'll see you next time.